Hey guys, Vazzy back here. And in today's video, I wanted to give you guys a quick early progress update on the custom roster. Has been a few days now. I've been putting a just crazy amount of work into it. There's still a lot to go, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of an early, update here if you guys are wondering. So starting out, the last thing I did here about 5 minutes ago, went through the whole entire league here with the help of Cap Wages, basically Cap Friendly's duplicate site, and went through every single position, whether it be forwards and defenses, and updated all of the positions. I want to say probably 75%. Like, it was really, really bad. There was a lot of things, like here, Stamkos, perfect example, doesn't play center primarily anymore. More of a winger now, but can still have that ability to play center. Also with the NHL ratings, I went through and I did all the NHL goalie ratings. So that's one thing that didn't take too long. Obviously, some guys are off more than others. A lot of guys were just higher in general than they should be. But I think for the most part now, if you're comparing guys, it should make a lot more sense. And that rating should, reflect the players overall more than just artificially being boosted for whatever reason. When it comes to overall ratings for NHL, haven't started anything on this. This is my next step of the process. And this is probably the biggest thing that I'm going to have to do this whole way through. The NHL ratings this year are horrible. I know I put a video out on launch day showing off all the ratings. And, I didn't really pay all that much attention to it just because I knew I'm going to have to be reworking anything anyway. But there's so many guys that are just way too high rated. A lot of young guys got like super high ratings and super high potentials. And my thing of it is, let the player grow. Let the player get there naturally rather than just starting them out with a super high overall. But that is the next step of the process. Going here to the creation zone, we'll start it out with created teams. And this was basically my factor all of, the last day or so. And, it might have taken a little bit longer than I was hoping, but every team, I think, honestly turned out really good. Every team will have their accurate look, accurate jerseys, and everything like that just at launch. Last year I kind of rushed it and I ended up going back and updating the jerseys in later updates. This year, right from the start, all the jerseys and everything will be accurate to how they were in obviously real life if they're a historic team, or how they appeared in a YouTube series if that was one of those teams. And then lastly here, let's go to the created players. And this was basically my number one thing. Let's just get all the missing players into the game. Whether that be players that have already been drafted, players that are coming up in upcoming drafts, alumni, Easter egg players. Basically anyone you can think of. If they're not already in the game, they very much likely will be now. I do want to say when it comes to prospects and stuff, I did more or less kind of limit it. I don't have all the 6th and 7th round picks in just yet. Wanted to keep it somewhat manageable. I know there's already so many players here and all that stuff already, but they'll be continued to be added upon in future updates, as well as, deepening those draft classes. But that will be coming in the next couple updates in the next few weeks and in the next few months. But yeah, this took a very long time. One thing I do also want to mention, with all of these created players, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I did attempt a in-game face for everyone. Done that in prior years as well, but did just want to bring it up here as, that adds a little bit to each player. And when you have, 500 or so players, it adds up to be a decent amount of time spent on each one of them. So yeah, that's everything there in the creation zone. Another thing I did want to mention, I saw actually in Tactics' video yesterday, he ended up bringing it up, so I'll talk about it now, and that's the fact that me and him are actually going to be putting out a roster collab throughout the year this year. And, I think for the most part, it's just something that makes sense. Obviously, we're both on Xbox. We don't want to be competing with each other too much, so we came together and just decided that we're going to be putting out one file together this year, so we'll be sharing that back and forth and putting work into that, and hopefully speeding up the time so that we can get it to you guys. But yeah, I think that's really everything I did want to bring up, just on this quick update. We are getting there, but I want to say it's still going to probably be another 2 weeks or so. I don't want to rush it and get something out to you guys that isn't at, the highest quality standards. I'm going to start working on the NHL. I want to get that done as soon as possible, hopefully by the end of the week. And then we can go from AHL and, look at some of those other leagues and hopefully get them done pretty quick. But yeah, that's just today's quick update. Again, keep an eye on my Twitter. I was posting quite a bit on there this week, giving updates, as well as here, obviously, I'll be continuing to do that as well. But that'll do it for this quick update. I will see you guys all in the next video.